In today's episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief, I sit down with Gary to find out all about Saints and Scoundrels, the card game. Then we'll see what's on Kickstarter, but first a message about our sponsors. Today's episode is also powered by one of our proud Kickstarter Season 3 backers and their game Nouvelle France, which just launched to Kickstarter. Nouvelle France is an abstract strategy game where you need to skillfully place construction blocks to build 3 historic sites from the Nouvelle France era. Outweigh your opponents and thereby gain points. Add to that 3 further ways to either bettering your score or hindering your opponents. A take that game like the Leafs like. Be on the lookout or come back and listen to our interview with the publisher on Saturday the 14th of September and back Nouvelle France before 10 October.
Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf, the podcast in which one man strives to level up his geekhood and helping you do the same, one battle at a time. Now, let's get geeky with Gamer Leaf.
You're on the trail of a serial killer, gathering as much evidence as possible. You're also using your contacts in the criminal underground to sabotage the investigations of your rival detectives, other players, to make sure you're the only one who finds the killer and gets the reward. One man has offered to help you and your rival detectives. His name is Dr. Zyko, aka Dr. Zyko the Psycho. He is a brilliant criminal psychologist, but he's also a prison serial killer. Beware of Dr. Zyko, however. He's bored in jail and would like nothing more than to drive you all insane.
Did that sound familiar to you guys? It didn't to me either, but this is the story of Saints and Scoundrels, the card game that's currently on Kickstarter. And today we're lucky enough to have on Gary, the creator and mastermind of this game. Is that right, Gary? Is that how you fall in line with Saints and Scoundrels, the card game?
Yes, that's exactly it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us on Getting Geeky with Game Relief. We really appreciate it, Gary.
Thank you for having me.
No problem at all. Now, before we jump into your game, let's rewind a little bit if we could. How did you get into playing tabletop board games, Gary?
I've always been playing games of some sort ever since I was a little kid. Started off with, Monopoly and got into a game I used to love when I was in college called Nuclear War. Just my cousins and I would play that all the time. And then I got into RPGs, kind of left it for a while. Then I kind of discovered it a few years back and decided to go into design.
So what game brought you back into board games and stuff?
I have actually several. It was called. I had several friends, and they started playing a game called Star Realms. When I first was introduced to the deck building genre, I thought it's never something I'd never seen before, and I was just so interested in it. And I started fooling around with the idea of deck building game.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm a big Star Realms fan. My wife got me their latest edition for Christmas. Haven't been able to get it to the table much, but yeah, I'm a big Star Realms fan.
Yeah, it's great.
Have you played any other deck builders besides that one?
No. Ascension. I've been. One of my favorites. It's Legendary, the Marvel one. That's one of my favorites.
Awesome. Yeah, lots of people talk about that. I've never been able to play that one yet, but another one I like is Cthulhu Realms. It's got the same stuff going on as Star Realms, but it's like got too much iconography on the cards that I have a hard time convincing anybody to get it to the table with me.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty fun. So word on the street is you created a new game. What can you tell us about Saints and Scoundrels card game, Gary?
Well, Saints and Scoundrels is a pulp-themed bluffing card game of 2 to 6 players. Game time is from 20 to 30 minutes. And in Saints and Scoundrels, everyone is a private detective looking for a serial killer. However, you're also sabotaging each other's investigations to make sure you're the only one to find the serial killer. One man is offered to help you. His name is Dr. Zyko, aka Dr. Zyko the Psycho. He's a brilliant criminal psychologist, but he's also a serial killer. And the rumor is he would he would love nothing more to drive all the private detectives insane.
Oh boy, it sounds pretty fun. I love the theme. What inspired the theme for you?
I've always liked pulp art, and when I was making the game, it was originally a modern investigator type of game, and when I was doing the art, it looked kind of boring. It looked like really nice mugshots, and it was kind of uninspiring. And I said, well, what inspires me? And so I thought, pulp art has always kind of inspired me. I've always liked the way that the pulp art covers tell a story in one picture, and the colors and the drama in one picture. And I thought it'd be fun to try to reproduce that.
So the theme came first then with the pulp, with the art, or the game first?
What came first? Well, what really inspired Saints and Scoundrels was I was down in my family room. The kids were asleep. At about 2:00 in the morning, just kind of fooling around on my computer when Silence of the Lambs comes on TV, and it's one of my favorite movies. And of course, Silence of the Lambs comes on 2:00 in the morning. You have to watch it. And one of the lines the FBI director says to Jodie Foster, you want to solve the case, but don't let Hannibal Lecter in your head. And it occurred to me that was a push your luck mechanic, and I said to myself, I can make a game out of that. And so I started kind of experimenting with it. The first version came up to something like Werewolf with a push your luck mechanic. It didn't quite work out. And the second version came more to resemble what Saints and Scoundrels is now. More of a instead of Werewolf with a push your luck mechanic, more of a coup type of game with a push your luck mechanic. And that mechanic is what came first. And as I said, I was fooling around with art, and it wasn't quite coming together. And then that's when I discovered the pulp theme.
Awesome. Yeah, it sounds fun. So per se, me and you sat down to play Saints and Scoundrels. What's my turn going to look like or consist of?
So you'll have 2 cards always on every turn. And if it's your turn, you will choose one card and put it down on the table face down. And you will claim to have a movement card, which will move you along an evidence track, I call it. Once you get to the end of the track, that means serial killer has been found. But you're trying to move along this track with these movement cards. So on your turn, you put one of these cards down and claim it's a movement card. And you can be completely lying about it, or you can be telling the truth. And all the other players have a chance to call you out on it. Say, I believe you, or I think you're lying. And if you catch someone in a lie, or you trick someone in calling you a liar when they're actually telling the truth, you get a bonus. There's also an opportunity for another player to put down the counter card. You say, I have a movement card, and he says, well, I have the counter card to your movement card, and he plays it face down. He or she plays it face down. And now I have a chance. It's my obligation to figure out if that other player is lying to me or not. So there's a lot of bluffing, counter bluffing, and trying to figure out if people are lying to you or not.
Now, do I get punished if they guess, like if I call them out on a bluff and it's not really a bluff?
If you call them out on the bluff and they're not bluffing, they get the advantage. So they get a bonus. They could either move forward one or move you back one. So you gotta be sure. You gotta be pretty sure you're making the right call. Otherwise, they take the advantage of it. And there are people who I know players who are very good at convincing you they are lying when they're actually telling the truth. And they trick you into giving them a bonus. Yes.
Oh boy! Now I wouldn't be able to do this, but I watched Rain Man recently, where he goes ahead and he counts the cards or whatnot. Is there a certain amount of so many cards or whatnot? So if somebody was able to count cards, they'd be able to figure it out right off the bat?
Yes, that's something that my playtesters definitely wanted in there. Each player has a player reference card, and it tells you how many cards of each type are in the deck. And so if you got a good memory, you can keep track of it, or you can even if you have if you've been keeping track, you don't have to be so accurate, but you can play the odds. You can say, well, I think there have been 2 cards that have been played, and there's only 3 of those cards in this deck of 49. So chances are, the odds are that you are lying. So people will play that way. They'll play the odds and count cards.
Okay, awesome. And so we're going down the evidence track. Is that the gist of the game, or is there other things involved as well?
Yeah, that's the main thing, going down the evidence track. There's 25 spaces on the evidence track, and you're trying to get as far along the evidence track as you can. And the game ends when someone reaches the end. That's not necessarily the end, though. During the game, also, you're also consulting with Dr. Zyko, aka Dr. Zyko the Psycho. And what Dr. Zyko does is he allows you to move 7 spaces along the track, which is huge. As I said, the track is only 25 spaces long. So he allows you to move 7 spaces. The catch is you have to take 2 Dr. Zyko cards. And on these cards, half of them are blank. One of them, about half have 1 insanity icon, and 2 of them have 2 insanity icons. So you take 2 of these Dr. Zyko cards, and you can't look at them till the end of the game. And when someone reaches the end, everyone reveals their Dr. Zyko cards, and anyone with 3 or more Dr. Zyko icons has been driven insane by Dr. Zyko, and they're out of the game. So the person who's farthest along the track without going insane is the winner of the game.
So in essence, I could get there first or whatnot, but not necessarily win them, maybe.
Yes, exactly. Or everyone can lose. That's happened in one game I played, where everyone went to see Dr. Zyko a couple times, and he ended up driving everyone insane in the game. In that case, Dr. Zyko wins the game.
Oh boy, it sounds pretty fun, and like you said, the art I really love the art. Now, people might be wondering, I don't know if they are, but I know I am, did you ever get back to sleep after the 2 o'clock movie?
I was probably for a couple more hours thinking about the game mechanics and trying to figure stuff out, but after I eventually went to bed.
So when it comes to Saints and Scoundrels, what makes your game pop is when my audience should go check out, and they like what they see, back it on Kickstarter today, Gary.
One of the things I tried to keep on while I designed this, I want to make a nice portable game, portable and quick. The quick game. This game can be fit into a purse or a backpack, and it plays for 25 minutes. The scenario I had in mind is you take it along with you to a restaurant, and you introduce it to your non-gaming friends or even your hardcore gaming friends, and you play for the 20 minutes while you're waiting for your meal. The art, too, is something that I really try to focus on, trying to make it very colorful and inviting. And I think the pulp theme is really underutilized. It's not something you see a lot in today's games. So I wanted to make something unique in that aspect.
Yeah, I really like the theme, and just the art on there. It's awesome, and like you said, it seems like a pretty quick filler that you can do before meals or whatnot. And I like the fact that the whole bluffing fact, I like that a lot.
Oh, yes. I tell people that there are 3 reasons why this game is fun. It's fun to lie to your friends. It's fun to call your friends a liar, and it's fun to watch one friend call another friend a liar. And what happens is every play, no matter what happens, all the cards are revealed. So you immediately know who's lying and who's telling the truth. It's a little 2-minute drama that happens on every turn. You figure out, and it's something you can kind of play in your own head. Okay, these 2 people are arguing, who's telling the truth and who's lying, and you kind of figure it out in your head, and then it's revealed, and you figure out if you're right or not. And it's always fun to see that dynamic happen.
Awesome. Yeah, it looks that way. Now, there's no stretch goals on this. Is that right, Gary?
That's right. This is my first Kickstarter. I kind of wanted to keep it on the simple side. I didn't want to overpromise something. I mean, the temptation was always there to, I can add this card, I can add that, and I kept telling myself, let's keep this as low risk as possible. I think for my first one, I want to keep this low risk, make sure that I didn't overpromise something and disappoint my backers.
Yeah, most definitely. You don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. So that being the case, if somebody goes ahead and backs Saints and Scoundrels, the card game, when would they anticipate getting the game so they can play it?
March 2020. The game is about 95% done. However, on the Kickstarter, there is a pledge level to get your picture in the game. And so the time from that point, from the end of the Kickstarter to the time that it's published, we'll be working with those 8 people. There's 8 spots for this. Working with those 8 people to get the pictures right. Because not only will I work through how how they can format the picture and so forth. I will also pulpify their portrait to make it look like a painting, and making sure so it matches the theme of and the style of the game. So that's what I'm anticipating will take the most time. I'm hoping to get it out sooner, but again, I didn't want to overpromise. I favored conservatively March 2020.
Awesome. And it looks like that's a pretty hot pledge level right now. A couple days into the Kickstarter, I think it is, at least at the time of this recording, and there's only 3 of those 8 left to get the picture in it.
Yes, exactly. Well, so I started off with actually 9 spaces for people to get their picture in the game. I was showing this last year at a local convention called Sin City Con. I live in Cincinnati, and I had people. I was demoing it, and several people played it during the convention. And I had mentioned to each of them, "Hey, the Kickstarter is coming up next year, and there's also a pledge level where you can get your picture in the game, and so on and so forth." During the convention, someone comes up to me and says, "Hey, you told me that on your Kickstarter you're going to have a pledge level to get your picture in the game. I wanted to see if I could get my son's picture in the game. I'm not sure. He wasn't sure exactly how to do that since the Kickstarter didn't start for a year. But I told him, if you're willing to commit $150 to me right now, a year before my Kickstarter, we'll figure out a way to get your son's picture in the game." So he took the first spot. He took the first of the 9 spots, and so the other 8 spots are open. And yes, in the first couple of days, 5 spots were taken.
Did a lot of those pledges for that level come from that con that you went to?
I'm not sure exactly. It's kind of hard to track them down, but there are, as far as I can tell, they come from several sources.
Oh, there you go. Awesome. Yeah, so that's awesome. And now we don't want to keep you all night, Gary. So minus coming there to Cincinnati or your hometown to stalk you, how can people go about keeping up with you and everything you're doing over there with your game and other stuff?
My website is www.gcrocketscience. That's all one word, gcrocketscience.com. There's also my GCRS Games Facebook page on Facebook, and then there's, of course, my Kickstarter for Saints and Scoundrels.
Awesome. Yeah, so, and speaking of keeping up with you, I know right now we're focused on getting the Kickstarter fulfilled and everything, but somebody's listening later on down the road. How can they, any secrets in their back pocket of stuff you might be working on later on?
I've been having this idea in my mind for the past month or so, and trying to work in Saints and Scoundrels rather than that. It'll be a game about where a player will give another player a choice between 2 bad choices. Each person will have a hand, and the 2 bad choices will be, you can do this or you can do that. This will make slightly better, but this is slightly worse, and you got to decide. And the name that comes to mind is the name will be the Lesser of 2 Weevils. It'll be a Weevil themed game, and I was inspired by the line from Master and Commander. I thought that'd be an interesting take on the line.
And is that a movie?
Yeah, it's Master and Commander. That's a Russell Crowe movie.
And was this another one you were up at 2 a.m. watching?
Probably. It didn't come to me at that point. It was. I think it came to me on a commute to work. You never know when the inspiration is going to hit.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I guess not. So that's awesome. Yeah, anybody listening, make sure you head on over and check out Saints and Scoundrels, the card game that'll be on Kickstarter through the 24th of October, it looks like, Gary?
That's correct.
Awesome. And one quick question for you. Well, I guess first off, we want to thank you for your service. You're a 20-year Air Force veteran. Any of the inspiration come from your time in the Air Force? You weren't chasing down serial killers then, were you?
No, my job in the Air Force wasn't quite that fun. I'm an engineer. I was an engineer in the Air Force. I still am an engineer, but as a civilian. But as an engineer, I was doing a lot of project management, and this kind of falls right in line. Especially with the Kickstarter, there's so many things to juggle, so many people to contact and coordinate, and And being in the Air Force really gives you a lot of skills in terms of coordinating people and coming up with a vision and getting your whole team to that goal. So it came in pretty handy.
Awesome. And I know we're only a little bit into your Kickstarter, but being your first project and all, is there any advice you could give to other first-time creators, Gary?
Do a lot of as much pre-marketing as you can. You can never do too much. Meaning, go to your local cons, bring your game to the local game store, um, show it to as many people as you can, and get the interest on the first day high. So you have so you'll just have this whole rush of people backing your Kickstarter on the first day. It's very comforting to see the numbers hit high within the first 24 hours.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, so that's awesome. Yeah, now, like I said, we don't want to keep you all night, but we really appreciate you coming on Getting Geeky with Game Relief with us, Gary, to talk all about Saints and Scoundrels card game tonight.
Oh, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Now, let's get geeky.
If you weren't able to tell, I really love the art in Saints and Scoundrels, and I want to add it to our collection. If you felt the same way, make sure you go ahead and check out their Kickstarter and back it before the end of this month. October, that is. Now, let's go ahead and go with Batterina Leaf, shall we? Where are we going, Batterina?
Kickstarter Corner!
The most merciful thing in the world, I think, is the inability of the human mind to correlate all its contents. We live on a placid island of ignorance in the midst of black seas of infinity, and it was not meant that we should voyage far. The sciences, each straining in its own direction, have hitherto harmed us little, but someday the piecing together of disassociated knowledge will open up such terrifying vistas of reality and of our frightful position therein, that we shall either go mad from the revelation or flee from the deadly light into the peace and safety of a new dark age, said H.P. Lovecraft in The Call of Cthulhu. Times are dark and sinister agents move in the shadows. In elder shadows, as the cultist, you will set perilous traps, summon fearful specters, and cast reality warping spells to protect the secrets of the elder shadows. Chanting secret phrases, you will acquire a combination of symbols on each location to complete the rite of your eldritch nightmare. As the investigations to expose the cult, facing maddening dangers and grotesque specters, your duty is to find the horrors that lurk in those elder shadows. Can you stop the elder ones from awakening? Elder Shadows on Kickstarter for the month of September is a 2-player strategy card game set in H.P. Lovecraft's beloved mythos. The cult clashes with the investigator in a game where sanity matters most, and one misstep could signal the end of humanity. There's a giveaway going on over at our other site, thegiveawaygeek.com. Plus, we'll be having Nicholas on the show later on this week or early next week, so make sure you're subscribed to our podcast in your favorite podcast catcher. And if this is after the recording, make sure you go back and listen to our Elder Shadows episode on Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf, so you don't miss out on all the Cthulhu fun we'll be having. Make sure you head on over and enter the giveaway today and back Elder Shadows on Kickstarter before the 2nd of October. Did you catch my last episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief all about the King of Indecision? Nope? Well, go back and listen. We'll wait for you. What'd you think? My thoughts exactly. Sounds like quite the game. I can't wait to play it. King of Indecision is a game for 2 to 5 players that plays in about 40 to 50 minutes. You play the role of a noble trying to gain the favor of the king, but his royal highness is very indecisive, changing his mind about what he wants. Still, you gather as much gold, silk, spice, white stallions, or peacocks that he desires for that moment to earn his favor in court. On your turn, you have 6 actions to choose from and will select 3. You can add or move to another tile to explore. You can gather treasure, you can hire new workers, or make a trade, and most importantly, make an offering to the king. The timing of your offering is everything and can make or break the moment when the king suddenly changes his mind, demanding something else. Through 5 rounds of play, the stakes get higher and available options increase. You'll need to watch other nobles and make the right decision at the right time. The player who gains the most favor by the end of the game will be the winner. It's not easy being a noble in this court, but the elements of surprise, strategy, and suspense are what keeps players coming back to the King of Indecision. Here's what some people are saying. This game is so easy to learn and so fun to play. Would play it over and over again as it's completely different each time, said Penny Slack. I enjoyed this game as much as Century or Splendor, said Harry Lee. Very original and enjoyable game. Highly recommended, said Tina. Super fun to play, very exciting, keeps all players on their toes through the game, said Yes Carr. And last but not least, is David Espinoza had this to say, I recommend this game to everyone. So make sure you go check out King of Indecision on Kickstarter, listen to our episode if you missed it still, and back it before the end of the month. You have been chosen to take command of the defense systems for a top secret military base. There are many weapon systems at your disposal, including some which are classified above top secret. These include prototype systems, which have been reverse engineered from recovered extraterrestrial technology. As your security clearance increases, so does your access to higher levels of technology. Did that sound familiar to you guys? It didn't to me either, but think UFOs and secrets. Some things are normal secrets, some are top secret, but this next game is above top secret. That was the story of Above Top Secret, which is a turn-based strategic card game featuring stealth and secret technology as your defense systems. There's a couple of variants you can play, including for either 2 players or as team play variant. It is suited for ages 12 and older and will take approximately 45 to 90 minutes. This is the official 2019 relaunch of the game under a new publisher, 3 Mates Games. Besides the awesome art in this game, you know what I love? Well, if you've listened to the right episodes of Getting Geeky with Game Relief, then you're probably well aware that our family is suckers for neoprene game mats. They've got 4 of them to choose from, all at 20 Australian dollars. That was about 65 cents per Australian dollar if you're here in the US. Gotta get this game for even just the awesome mats. Or that's how I feel at least. These mats are not only cool to look at, but they also provide you with a more immersive gaming experience. If you prefer to be filled in on what is above top secret, want an awesome game, and some super awesome play mats, head on over and check out Above Top Secret, the official relaunch, and then back it on Kickstarter before Sunday the 27th of October. Tell them Gamer Leaf sent you in the comments. It'll mean the world to them and to us. Rise and shine, campers. The bugle is sounding, so roll up your sleeping bags, break down your tents, and get ready for another beautiful day. Are you ready to scramble up Gemini Peak? Delve deep into Fiddler's Woods? Explore the depths of the Fairy Fire Caves? Or will you take the canoe out on Lantern Island? Grab your gear and let's get going. You are in a troop of campers who are exploring the wilderness to win. Level up your campers to the highest rank, Badger that is. Along the way, you will need to collect achievement patches, which will give your campers special abilities and allow them to level and win the game. Camp Pinetop offers endless variations of gameplay with 32 map cards in the base game. This offers hundreds of different map configurations, ensuring that each game will have a different and exciting route to victory. Camp Pinetop was voted Best Family Game of 2019 in the Boston Fig Fest. Out of over 40 games, do you believe that? Hot dog! If you're like me and aren't able to make it to the camp due to family circumstances, what could be better than camping on the tabletop? If you missed out on any of Talon strikes other games, such as my favorite themed board game ever, Vinyl, in which vinyl is back in demand as collectors clamor to discover the pure, warm sound of music from decades past. You're not going to want to miss this bad boy, so don't dilly-dally and back Camp Pine Top before Friday the 18th of October. Tell them GamerLeaf sent ya. If you liked any of the games we talked about in today's episode, make sure you check out their Kickstarter campaigns to show them and us a little love. Backing them goes a long way. Plus, make sure to stay up to date on all the giveaways we're doing over at thegiveawaygeek.com. There will be at least 2 to 3 new giveaways going live over there next week. It's our least favorite time as well as yours, so until next episode, make sure you go ahead and get geeky, stay geeky, and bring others in the geekfold by sharing our episodes with others, as well as keeping up with the giveaways we're doing over at thegiveawaygeek.com. GamerLeaf out.
GamerLeaf levels up. Tune in next week to see if GamerLeaf's luck holds up.